Taylor CNN viewers. Today we're going to focus on the current conflict between Ukraine and Russia. These two countries are fighting over the Crimean and the consequences are fierce. Now, we are moving on to the Ukrainian Foreign Minister, Mrs. Tiger.
These days, the United States of America ensure us that we use the force to the radical groups, but actually in the last few weeks, the police still and not responding the action from the radical group. Because we did give a strong instruction to the police not to use offensive means to the protesters. We have never had an experience on so many extremes.
This is our home. We've got a culture and a language of our own. What right do other people have to come here and start laying down the law? Both my grandfathers were killed in World War II. I'll never sing Glory to Ukraine, Glory to Bandera. I hope they get the message.
Thank you, Mrs. Tiger, for joining us. Now let's move on to our ground staff, Ms. Viditra, who's going to interview few civilians regarding the Russia and Ukraine crisis.
Thanks, Shawan. I'm here with Selena, a Ukraine civilian. I'm here to interview her about the Ukraine crisis. How did the protest started?
I would say at the heart of the protest was a trade pact that we were supposed to sign with the EU, but our president decided not to.
What are the human rights violations?
There were lots of different human rights violations. I think the biggest one would be violence. There's been a wave of violence since the protest started. A lot of politicians, journalists, activists were hurt.
When did the protest start?
It started around November 21st, I think, when our president left the EU.
So what are the government's reaction?
They offered the opposition become prime minister and to form a working group, but the opposition refused.
How did the media react to this situation?
They interviewed a lot of different governments and got a lot of different points of views on the matter and drew a conclusion from them.
What are the US response to this crisis?
Obama said that he would help Ukraine financially and anything it needed and wouldn't let Russia take over either the Crimean or the Ukraine sovereignty.
Thank you very much.
We're all Slavs. We have to live in peace. We're brothers. We shouldn't fight each other. We're one people.
We're all brothers.
My homeland's behind me. Russia is our homeland.
I have an aunt in Russia and friends in Novorossiysk. We can't go to war against each other. I don't even like to use the word. This is the 21st century. How can two Slavic peoples go to war? And what are we supposed to make of today's order from the so-called Kiev government? The so-called Kiev government gave the order to kill their own people in Slavyansk. How is it even possible? I don't know what to say. They don't care about the Geneva Accord.
Fascists.
There are OSCE monitors wandering about all over the place. But what's going on? I can't figure it out. None of us can. Who is in charge of this madhouse?
Thank you very much. I'll pass it back to Shelby.
Thank you, Viditra. It was a great interview with the civilians. That's all for today, viewers. Have a good day.
Sometimes I feel like we're all being used. They took off our handcuffs and put us in leg irons instead. They're now setting us up against the southeast of Ukraine the same way